Can you hear me? Someone give me a sign.
You can be heard, yes.
Yay, cool. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to Laughs on Lockdown, Volume 1. Now, we tried this last week. It went all right. It also was a fucking shit show, but hopefully it was a fun shit show and you enjoyed yourself. Now, this week, I thought I'd try and dress up a bit for the occasion, and I think I'm doing that all right. Like, yeah. But no, so we just wanted to put on something a bit more professional. I don't know why I'm hosting it, but yeah, we'll see. One thing is, though, luckily you can see me, but luckily you can't hear me. Luckily you can see me, but you can't smell me. Ah, fuck that fucking up. Jesus Christ. I'll try again. But no, yeah, so after I've finished fucking all this up, we're going to have some amazing acts on tonight. But before then, I want to talk to you about something that's really, really serious right now. Really, really, like, it's affecting me because the Tiger King. Now, if you haven't seen the Tiger King, fuck it, as soon as this is finished, go on Netflix and fucking watch it. It's amazing. What it is, it's basically Game of Thrones, but for white trash. And if everyone in that place was a cunt, you didn't like anyone, and they were really big into polygamy. But yeah, definitely, Tiger King is absolutely amazing. Just watch it. Just watch it, man. But yeah, I've also been seeing some motivational quotes, which I don't think are helping that much in this current climate. Like we've got ones like, "You got this." You don't want that. With Corona, you got. Also, another famous one. Stay positive. For Corona, fuck it. Geez, nah. And then another one was, don't be afraid to go out on a limb for what you love. Now, as we're all inside and quarantined, I think we should, yeah, we shouldn't be going out on a limb for anything. No. But no, I've been stressing a lot. I've been stressing, trying to get like my act into screaming down into webcam. Like, I feel I've got too much clothes on for anything going on in a webcam. But no, it's stressed me out, and I was just trying to find a way to put my act into this, and I started drinking a lot more. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll go to the 0.0 Radlers just to try and calm it down a bit. Now, doing that, it reminded me of something that really, really, it touched my life. It was during dry February, and I was there just realizing that my socializing was basically made up of alcohol, and now I'm a terrible, terrible sober person. But no, I got one ray of sunshine, one ray of light in that time, and it happened at a poker game. So I was there drinking my 0.0 beer. My Lithuanian friend over the table said to me, "We've got a saying in Lithuania about that." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, Drinking non-alcoholic beer is like licking your sister's pussy. It tastes the same, but you know there's something not quite right about it." Like, Lithuania! Fucking hell, Lithuania! Jesus! But now, we're gonna get moving on to the first act of the night. Oh, sorry, my lovely fiance just pointing out stuff to me. Wonderful. The first act of the night tonight is a girl called Olivia. She's absolutely awesome. She's from California, and I can't wait for you to hear what she has to say. Pass her on. Shirt. Spotlight. We'll get there eventually. Shirt.
Yeah, I can't do it. I need to be host.
I'll do it. Oh, fuck it. We'll do it.
Okay, I need to be host.
It'll be fine. It'll be brilliant.
I
can't. Do this. You can fucking do this. Spotlight. Olivia!
Hey!
Oh.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'll be using a water bottle because if I don't have something to hold, my hands get really weird. Anyway, yeah, great. Welcome to my living room. I've been doing all right dealing with quarantine so far. My main issue is I'm not staying, I live here. I live with my boyfriend. I've lived here for 6 months. And I find it a little bit difficult because we're so cute, you know? Like, we're just so cute. And that's really hard for me because I work as a bartender. And, like, when I'm out in public, I, like, kind of have a persona. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, stay the fuck away from me. Like, why are you fucking with me in my bar? Stop being a dick. Get the fuck out. Can I fucking help you? And then when we're at home, he calls me Muffin. And so anytime that I like get out of bed in the morning, he'll come up to me and he'll be like, what are you doing out of your muffin tray? And I'm like, I'm a little muffin, I need to go to my tray. And then he'll pick me up and then he'll throw me in bed. And he's like, do you know how many kisses muffins get? And I'm like, is it infinity? And then he's like, it is infinity. And then he gives me all the kisses that I need. And then we both throw up because we're nauseating. And it's just really hard for me to align that with my personal values because it's like, how can I be a bad bitch but I'm also a muffin, you know? Like, I just don't know how that can work. I'm also doing a really stupid, terrible thing called Whole30 because I've had really terrible allergic reactions to food for the last 6 months. And so we were like, okay, we'll figure out what's causing the reactions. And so Whole30 is a terrible diet created by monsters, where for 30 days you cut out anything that could be a possible allergen. And then you get rid of all of those things, and then you slowly add them back in to see what you've been reacting to. So you get rid of gluten and dairy and sugar and legumes and like any additives or preservatives or anything that you could possibly enjoy. And I would say that it's going really well, except that it's going terribly. I know ideally I'll feel better, but at what fucking cost? Like, all I do is I wake up in the morning and I just stare at photos of cheesecake on Pinterest. Not even like fun dessert videos of how they put it together. It's just photos of cheesecake. And then last night, my boyfriend made a pizza, and I just sat outside the oven and I stared at it the whole time. Anytime he eats something that I'm not allowed to have, I just stalk him like a vulture. But like, if a vulture wasn't actually allowed to eat your food and it was just being a fucking creep about it. So I'm ruining both of our quarantines, which feels really good. It's also really frustrating because I know a lot of really healthy people, and I'm not a healthy person. Like, I have an addictive personality. So I'm like, I will either do this thing until I die, or I'll never do it. And that applies to absolutely everything. And so whenever someone is like, you know what I think the key to your diet is? It's just moderation. I'm like, that's not an answer. What do you mean moderation? There's always like some like woman named Kelly who's like, oh, trust me, I know. I used to be able to sit down and just eat half a bar of chocolate without noticing what was happening. And now I can just eat a single square of chocolate and I'm totally satisfied. And I'm like, listen, if you're like that and you don't relate to what I'm saying, I'm super happy for you, but we are not the same breed of person. So I think either you're born with the ability to moderate or you're a liar. I don't believe anyone has ever acquired the ability to moderate. Like, don't tell me about how you eat one square of chocolate. All I want to know about are people who sat down and eat an entire package of Oreos without realizing what was happening. Don't tell me how to live my life while you do morning Pilates and eat one square of chocolate. I would rather die than eat one square of chocolate at any point in my life as a treat. That sounds so much worse than never eating chocolate again. And honestly, I lost the point of where I was going with that joke. Moderation. That wasn't even really what I was supposed to talk about, but all I can think about now is pizza. Also, my boyfriend's eating lasagna off to the side because I think he's a psychopath. So I'm gonna go do that. That's gonna be my time. Thanks so much, guys.
Woo! Well, guys, after a few technical difficulties, put it on Facebook. We're live now. So, hello. You didn't miss much. I stumbled through the opening. I wasn't very good. I'm actually glad next to nobody fucking saw that. So, good for me. Wicked. Well, now we've got our next comedian coming on. She is an amazing comedian from Israel. I absolutely love her. I've seen her so many times, and she always kills. Everyone give it up for Nira Tao. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, hey, thank you, Liam. Thank you. This is great. You look great from a distance. I think social distancing is really working for you. You should adapt. Actually, I'm kidding. It's not really great. It's really weird to do this, what we're doing now. Very, very weird. And it's difficult times. It's difficult for me. Although I have to be honest, like being at home is not that different than what I did in my pre-corona life. You see, I'm a full-time comedian, but just not very successful one. So I didn't get out of the house anyway before. So not much change here, kind of. The only change actually is that now my husband and my daughter are with me, which is kind of challenging. I didn't really sign up for that. You know, when you get married and they say for sickness and in health, I think nowhere there, I'm pretty sure nowhere it was saying that you need to spend time with your husband in like a confined place in a lockdown. It's not what I signed in for. And our house is just not big enough for all of us to be there. Yes, it's pretty small. I find myself taking out the trash one item at a time, just to get some me time alone. I also noticed, I think my husband is ghosting me. Like, we decided that we're going to have separate bedrooms, just that we could miss each other a little bit. We decided it like 7 years ago, nothing to do with the corona, and we're still waiting for the missing part to kick in. Not there yet. Actually, we wanted to do it to be kind of cute, you know, to spice things up this mundane desert that is marriage. So we thought we can, you know, I can invite him to my bed, he can invite me to his bed, like we're texting, awake, we're sending big pictures. But yes, I'm sending big pictures, whatever. I don't know what I'm going here. But anyway, he's just not answering my my text anymore, and I see the blue check signs. I do. I know you're watching it today. I know, but he just doesn't answer. I think after all this time together in quarantine, in lockdown, separate bedrooms won't just do it. I think we need to get separate apartments just to keep things interesting. That was the punchline here. Need some work, I guess. Yes. I feel like we are being held hostage by this little bitch with the daddy issues we call COVID-19. So, Corona babe, if you're watching, what up? What do you want? You know, just tell us the terms and we will give it to you. You got our attention, all of us, yes. I'm not an expert on a conspiracy theory, but I have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, there is like a massive awareness campaign here, and I have two suspects. I think one might be the teachers, because they were like on strike a couple of months ago and they didn't get what they wanted. So they said, we're going to escalate it now. Let those fuckers spend 6 weeks with their kids, teaching them long division, and then see who doesn't get a raise. So teachers, I'm all up for it. Name your price, I'll pay it. Take them back, take them back. And my second suspects would be the healthcare providers, just for the attention. I don't know, for the clapping. And they say that comedians always seek for attention. I think the healthcare providers won this time. That's it for me, guys. I'm sorry. All new stuff. Yes, thank you.
Woo.
We'll get there eventually.
Woo.
Sorry. Spotlight. Yeah.
Take me off. Yeah, thank you.
Technical difficulties again. I'm really good at this. Fucking amazing at hosting this, and it's just like I don't know why I do it. I do know why I do it. I'm not very good, and this way people let me actually have some time because I fucking organised it. Woohoo! But no, it's not just me though. It's not just me organising this. We've got we've put together some youngish, as we say, comedians called Virtually Funny People. We're hosting this one for tonight, and we're looking to do more and more if we get better, hopefully. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Let me go on to the next act, who will, of course, save the day. That man is Matt Castelvi. He is an American Cuban from Chicago, and he's fucking amazing. Enjoy.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Thank you. This sucks.
Matt, you're a bit.
This fucking sucks. Can you hear me?
You're a little bit crackly.
Crackly. It's called a crack. How about now? Is it better? Worse? This is all part of my routine. A lot of my openers.
I think
I can't go any further away.
No, is it not in your ear? Sorry.
No, it's in my. You not hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
Oh,
There it is. Go ahead.
Great. It's called a great start. That's what we do in the business. Yeah, I usually perform for like a live audience instead of, from where my underwear sleeps. I try to keep those two worlds apart. But unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Great. Awesome. I assume you're loving this. I've got a bar over where all your faces are, so I don't get distracted. But this is the new normal, so that's good. I wasn't gonna do a lot of coronavirus bits because people were saying, this is gonna be a fad. It's not something important. Everyone's gonna be doing jokes. Nobody's even gonna remember this in 6 months. And I was like, you're not gonna remember reverse Christmas. Which is what I equate this era to, is the opposite of Christmas. It's in March. You lose stuff. Santa Claus is black. I don't know. We'll figure it out in post. But I think it's fine to do these jokes now. So let's get to it, shall we? The apocalypse. Wow. I didn't know I'd be wearing sweatpants during, but here we are. I was going to be a lot more fire, a lot more running, but turns out you can just drink wine in bed and then go to sleep until it's over. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to right now. But there's a lot of new rules, right? Am I right, fellas? Am I right, ladies? There's a lot of new rules in place. This was depending where you are. Like for Albert Heijn, for a long time you could just go in, blah blah blah, get your condoms and leave. But now you have to go in one at a time. So if you have a couple, they won't let you go in together. So this happened to me and my girl. They wouldn't let me and my girl go in. So it's like you go in and get supply for us. No, don't interrupt me. But they were like, you gotta go in, and I'm not very good at getting stuff from the family. So I came back with like a big bag of gummy bears and ice. And she was mad, but we were able to make polar gummy bears that night. So I thought it was fine. That crushed her. That one. All right, so everyone's panicking. I don't know what the big deal is. It's like, is this everyone's first time being a loser? It's like, if you've been normal. I mean, yeah, it's like you go to sleep and then you sleep until it's nighttime. And then you wake up for a brief period to gorge, smoke weed, and go back to sleep. And that's been working for me for, I think, 20 years. So if anyone wants to get on my schedule, that'd be fucking perfect. I'm going to put that one as second best. Okay. yeah, it's different. It's like the whole world is in prison. The whole world is doing 90 days in the county, which is not everyone's, you know, able to do. It's definitely I feel like a cat. I feel like I know what it's like to be a cat. I just go to the nearest bay of sunshine and then just stay there until someone yells at me. And now it's mainly this is like a, you know, we're locked up. We're locked. And it's perfect. Like you're always worried about supplies. You know, I'm doing a lot of push-ups now. Like I'm in prison. My girl told me not to drop the soap. I don't know what that means. You know, I don't know which gang I'm gonna join. I'm thinking Crips. I like blue, so that makes my eyes pop. So I think if there's a Crips in this house, I'm gonna join that group. Speaking of push-ups, you know, I've been doing a lot of working out, and so that means I've been doing like 5 push-ups a day, which is whoa. I mean, I don't want to bulk up on everyone. I don't want this to be over and people don't recognize me because I've been doing upwards of 15 push-ups total for 3 months. But if you can see me and you're like, wow, that guy is fucking built, know that it was me doing half form girl push-ups for 2 months. It's gonna be third best. Okay. Good. All right. So, and everyone's trying to better themselves. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like learning. People are like, hey, I'm gonna learn a different language. You know, I'm gonna get fit. You know, I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna learn some crafts, and then afterwards they're gonna be like, man, what did you do? And it's like, oh, I saw that tiger documentary. It was pretty good, and it's gonna be pretty embarrassing for me right there. But fortunately, I have been watching a lot of stuff. I watched Frozen 2 because I've lost control of my life. Complete control. No idea what's going on. I didn't see the first one, so some of the things were kind of lost on me. Like I wasn't sure why it was animated. I think they covered that in the first one for sure. She didn't get frozen ever in the one I saw, so I don't know what that's about. I guess I'll have to watch the cliff notes on that or the behind the scenes to see how they were able to film it. But I mean, why even watch Netflix stuff? Do you guys? I don't even know why any of you guys are watching this. Pornhub Premium free right now. You guys realize that? I literally have this on the other window. And that's all I was distracted because I'm like, why are you doing it? Are you fucking serious? Free, premium, dude. Like I'm a fucking millionaire. Like I can fucking watch anything, you name it. I can have it free right now while we're talking. It's ridiculous. If you've not looked into the premium, Carly, it's way better, not even close. I mean, there's genres you haven't even heard of. There's a genre just called normal porn, which is just like a guy and a girl laying in a bed, and then he's like, you know, pressuring her for sex. She's like, not now, and then like doing sex. So it's like a new form of edging. You know, it's like, oh God, it's crazy. But you know, it's coronavirus, so like all the lesbian porn, you know, they're wearing gloves. You know, gotta be safe. All these jokes are for me. I hope that's okay. I know, yeah. I mean, it's different. It's like we went back in time, right? It's like I'm listening to the radio and podcasts like it's 1915. You know, it's like it's World War II. Like there's no one going out. Everyone's terrified. I just wanted to, and this is a bit of a segue, but for World War II, there's no Dutch listening in, but the FBI is, but there's no Dutch. But do you guys realize how weird it is if you're living in Amsterdam or wherever you're living during World War II, that one day like Germany just like fucking marched in and was just like, hey, this shit's German now. And then you had to be like, all right, okay, whatever, and then just go on picking dandelions or what the fuck you had to do. Like the cheese, that's German cheese now. It's like, fine, dude, get out of the fucking way. I don't care. And that's how I feel. That's how I would have done it. I would be like, fucking, where's that Anne Frank bitch? Find her. I don't care. I don't want all this trouble. Come on, yelling. Oh, God. Anyway, my segue bit. Segue bit. Circle that. But I will say, I assume all you guys here in the Netherlands here, but the Dutch are good. They've been very good at all this drama. But what they're really good is like fucking putting benches places. That's what the Dutch are the best at. They're fucking amazing. Like I like looking at like nature and stuff, and so the Dutch must have know that or in advance because they're just like, hey, do you like looking at pretty shit? And like, boom, there's a bench. Look at that shit. Just sit there. That's where the pretty shit look is. Right there. The bench. Boom, look over there. That's where pretty shit is. I've decided pretty shit is there. All right? Why don't we move the bench? No, the look is out there. You look this way, you dumb fuck. All right? So here's a bench. All right. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be my closer.
It's got legs.
Man, to do. I'm like 50. Like Jesus Christ. I'm like,
I mean, you got a minute
is
left.
this enough, or I can go more, but
you
I'm gonna be ranting.
A minute.
I got a minute. All right, this is gonna be my good minute.
Yay!
This is me raw. This is uncut. So I'm doing great because I have weed. And if you guys aren't smoking weed, then I'm sorry. This is probably the worst for you. But this is like awesome for me because I have so much weed and I could smoke it all the time like I like to do. And there's people, I mean, people you haven't even ever seen at dispensaries now. Like I saw Dutch people smoking weed there. It was insane. It's a joke for only one Dutch who I assume is here. All right, guys, my name is DL Hughley. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much.
Now we have a second MC. Welcome onto the stage. Shut.
Hi guys. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm your second MC for this evening. I'm Sjoerd Scott. I'm so excited to be here. This is fucking dope. I hope my internet is fine, but just like Liam said before, luckily you can hear me, but you can also smell me. I think that's what he meant by that. And it's really dope to be. It's really dope to be here. It's a very scary time now because now if I'm like on a call with someone and I want to cough to clear my throat, I have to like hide it in like a laugh like. Funny. Like I have to hide everything now. That's fucking crazy. But that's the thing though, because I'm not very smart. Like I'm not a bright guy. Like for example, like my mom asked me. She said, "Sure, there's a lot going on right now. Are you fine? Are you doing okay? Like, are you healthy?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm not scared of corona because, well, I eat ass. There's nothing. I put up with a lot of shit. I'm scared of nothing. Okay, like there's nothing I'm scared of." And she legit says to me, she goes, "Oh, sure, you've been up there for too long." What the fuck? Like apparently she think living in Holland means if I go to Albert Heijn and then they say like, "Oh, I'm just craving ass," right? And I go to the cashier and they're like, "Oh, will you the bum?" And I'm like, "No, but I will your bum." Like apparently, like, what the fuck? Like, do you think that they coincide? Like, I don't know what she means by this shit, right? That's not gonna work. So So I'm thinking about this shit a lot, right? I'm thinking about this shit a lot, like what's going on right now, what's going on right now. And it's a very scary time, right? Because like I can't even see my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend. And like I have to be honest with you guys, like she doesn't really smile a lot, she doesn't really laugh a lot. It's not her fault, she's Dutch. But she's really dope though. But she's surprisingly funny. Like she's really funny. Like for example, like I'll tell you guys this, right? Okay, so she likes choking, right? She likes choking in the bedroom because you know that's a thing people tend to fuck in. And we're in the bedroom, right? And she likes choking, okay? And it's very technical. Like no one tells you how technical choking is. Yeah, it's very technical. Like no one tells you this shit, right? Because I was looking it up, and it's kind of like slapping during sex, right? Because usually, like when you're turned on, your adrenaline goes up and you're more tolerable to pain, right? So you can't just choke her recreationally. There's a time and a place for that shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't just like a babe can help me with these groceries. Like it doesn't. You can't choke her. Like, there's a time and a place for that shit. You can't just fucking do it, right? And that's the thing too. Like with that technicality, there's another thing too. She likes choking, but she also has fucking asthma. Okay, so it's a lot to deal with because like if I'm too hard, then you know I'm a bitch. Like if I'm too soft, I'm a bitch. I fucked that up. If I'm too soft, I'm a bitch, and if I'm too hard, I'm OJ Simpson. You know what I mean? And I can't handle a case right now, right? So there's a lot to deal with that shit, right? And the thing is too, like I can't really choke her now because all the quarantine time. You know what I mean? Like I can't really do it now. So I pitched her an idea. I was like, babe, I got a dope idea. You know, let's do this playful thing where we like choke each other from afar. You know what I mean? And so in preparation for this, I'm watching Star Wars. I'm studying Darth Vader, right? And I'm like, babe, you know, we could like the Darth Vader thing because you know we both have daddy issues. You know, we could do it on each other. You know what I mean? It could go really well. And then she says, sure, we already have sex. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with Darth Vader? And then she said, well, if we already have sex a lot, you don't have to act like a virgin. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, how the fuck do I handle that shit? I'm like, babe, you can like Star Wars and not be a virgin. You can still have sex if you like Star Wars. And she goes, yes, you can have sex, but not with me. And I go, well, okay, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I just jerk off a lot. Premium porn. So like what happens is, but I will admit there's a lot of premium porn. Like I have to admit, like, okay, first of all, I just want to say this is an offshoot real quick. The real heroes aren't Pornhub for this shit. The real heroes are the people that paid for porn, download it, and then release it for free, the full video. That's the real fucking heroes. They don't get enough credit. I just want to say that shit. Why? Because I did it once. So so we got a great evening for you guys tonight. I'm so excited to do this shit. We have our first comic up. He's actually blonde and blue eyes. Yes, he is Dutch, but he's cool, and his jawline makes me drool. Everyone, please give it up for Diederik Zoomont. Get it, buddy.
Hey. Hey, hello. All right. I didn't want to talk about coronavirus off the bat. All right. Yeah, I will be doing some more one-liners, but all my jokes will be on-liners, you know, virtual medium. All right. I just want to make a quick point. Hey, politicians, maybe stop organizing press conferences. You know, you're making a gathering to tell us to not have gatherings. Hypocrites. Point made. I was watching a French press conference the other day, and they didn't even make coffee once. Anyway, it is serious. I've heard India has gone in full lockdown. They're beating people in the streets if they go outside. My question is, if Indian people aren't allowed on the streets, where are they meant to shit?
Oh
Anyway,
God.
sorry, I'm still a little jet lagged from last Sunday. I haven't been traveling. It's just daylight saving really got me a little fucked up. I had to adjust my sundial in the middle of the night, which is really difficult. Yeah, I would like to give a big thank you to all the daylight saviors out there. Well done, guys. The messiahs of sunshine, the destroyers of darkness, nailing it. We did it, guys. Another year and a lot of daylight saved. Yeah, I've been doing all right. I've got a lot of time on my hands. even though I've been washing them almost daily. A lot of that time is daylight. Thanks again, guys. So I've been trying to go outside as much as possible. The other day, I went outside. I robbed a street lamp, and a homeless-looking crackhead genie appeared. He started shouting, "One wish, motherfucker, one wish." And I was like, "Ah, fuck me." And he was like, "Your wish is my command." And then he sodomized me behind a bush on a stained carpet,
Oh my
not a
God.
magical one. And as he came, he said, "You ain't never had a friend like me." And then I decided to not do edibles again for a while.
Oh my God.
I've also been hula hooping. It's a great social distancing activity, both distance-wise and socially, because people tend not to come near you when you're hula hooping your way down the high street in a kimono and flip-flops. I also took up karate just in case I ever get attacked by a thin wooden plank. You guys heard about the oil prices? They're very low. It's great. I'm not going to make any crude jokes. But yeah, it's super cheap. So I've been buying a bunch of oil, just going by gas stations on my skateboard, filling up a couple jerry cans. Then I bury the oil in my backyard, returning it to its rightful place. The fumes are pretty bad, I'll be honest. It smells kind of bad. It smells like, I don't know, a dinosaur died or something. Speaking of eggs, Easter's coming again. This year, I decided to only buy free-range chocolate eggs, but there's none. I don't know. I guess the chocolate chickens are also quarantined or something. I didn't let it get me down though. On Monday evening, to celebrate, I smoked a cross joint out of solidarity with Jesus. And then another one out of escapism, but I told myself it was for the Jews. Yeah, puff, puff, Passover. There's a lot of moving parts there. I'm not sure. Anyway, then I was super high. I decided to be my own Easter bunny. I hid about 67 eggs around my room. Then I passed out. The next day was great after I had taken care of my resurrection, if you know what I mean. Had myself a fun little Easter egg hunt. Well, fun, I don't know. Just a quick public service announcement. An Easter egg hunt is one hunt where you should not use dogs. Anyway, I think that's my time.
Yeah. Go. Woo!
Hey.
Woo!
We're gonna get you eventually.
Yeah, you could. All right, dope. That's Diederik. Oh fuck, that was fucking energetic. I fucking love it so much. I can't wait for the next comedian. She's fucking dope. Okay, you know she knows a lot about long hair, and her name is Carly Blair. Give it up for Carly motherfucking Blair. Come on, give it to her. Woo!
Hi, everyone. Wow, a rhyming intro. That's a new experience for me. So hello, everyone. I'm Carly. So when I have two, and someone is falling down a full flight of stairs, I think. So I have two brothers, and when my brothers and I were kids, we used to like role play all the time with our toys. Like my older brother would be He-Man, my little brother would be G.I. Joe, or like Optimus Prime or something like that. And I would want to be Barbie, but since I have two brothers, they would always like rip the head off of my Barbie doll and stick it on some other doll, like a Ken doll, for example. So maybe that explains. So yeah, I'm androgynous. Always have been. My mom actually had my ears pierced when I was 11 months old because she was tired of everyone telling her what a cute little boy I was. Pretty embarrassing. But like while she was mutilating my little baby body, I don't understand why she didn't like throw in some fake tits or like at least a nose job while she was at it. Yeah. Could have saved me a lot of issues down the line. So when I was a little kid, I apparently used to like run around naked all the time. At one point, a creepy neighbor told me they couldn't keep the clothes on you. Like, I used to think it was because I'm such a free spirit or some shit like that. But now I wonder if I wasn't just trying to like make sure that everybody knew I was a girl. You know, like, see, like, definitely a girl, this one. For all I know, you know, maybe my mom put me up to it. Like, Carly, just go ahead and do like a lap around the block just to quiet the talking. I think it's a good theory. Fast forward 30 years, not that much has changed. Like I'm doing stand up after all. You know, look at me, going on and on about my vagina or potential lack thereof.
Ooh.
I know, the mystery continues. So yeah, I'm androgynous. Ever since Stranger Things came out, there's a part of me that wants to shave my head. You know, like it looks so badass, and like it'd be really awesome to just have like brand new hair. So it's all like silky and perfect, and it feels really good when you rub it. Like Dee knows what I'm talking about. But I'm afraid that if I would do it, I would have to like tape down my tits and start going to gay bars if I ever want to touch a penis again. So, something to think about. Speaking of never touching a penis again, I realized that I do not know how to successfully use Tinder. I've been trying so hard to find a real relationship on Tinder that I seem to have lost the ability to use it to like harvest some eggplant, if you know what I mean. Like every time I match up with some like hot douchebag and he's like, come over to my place, I just like I can't bring myself to do it because I feel like a hooker or a pizza. Like he's using Tinder like Deliveroo, but for vagina. But on the other hand, I find that I'm also not interested when the dude I match with is nice, because the dude I match with and they want to meet me is nice because they usually turn out to be bald or a loser or like 20 years old. I'm just kidding. That last one's not a problem. Clock's ticking on these ovaries, so I'm gonna need to get I'm gonna need to get the spriest sperm that I can get my fallopians on. Diederik, take note.
Ooh.
I made that joke. So I don't know why like all the dudes who are hot and also seemingly nice don't match with me. Like I'm a proactive, accountable woman, so I prefer to blame my parents. Speaking of my parents, we don't really believe in too much information in my family, as you might have guessed from the fact that my mom told me about how everyone used to think I was a dude. Definitely no body issues stemming from that little revelation. After my brothers and I were born, my parents walked around the house naked for long enough that I can remember them walking around naked, which means they walked around naked for like way too long. To this day, there is hanging in my parents' bathroom in our house in Phoenix, Arizona, a picture of my mom naked. And like for me and my brothers, like we were used to it, we thought it was normal. So whenever we'd have like a birthday party, for example, and the line for the kids' bathroom was too long, we would just tell them like, oh yeah, like go use the bathroom in our parents' room. And then they would come out a couple minutes later like, whoa, like, is that a picture of your mom? And we're like, yeah, is that weird? Like, we had no idea. But I'm pretty sure that more than a few MILF fantasies were given birth to from these incidents. So the apple didn't fall far from the tree. My parents also let us try beer and wine when we were super young. Like a lot of parents might disapprove of that, but I think that my parents were super smart about it, or super smart to do it, like perhaps accidentally. And I think this because my parents have horrible taste in alcohol. Like my dad only drinks Budweiser. It's finally here, by the way. You can finally get it in the Netherlands. And my mom only drinks, well, she mostly drinks like cheap boxed wine, like rosé, no less. So until I was 19 years old, I thought alcohol just tasted fucking horrible, and I had no desire to drink it until, you know, like I was in college and like, you know, meeting all these hot guys, no more parental supervision, and I started caring less about my taste buds and more about that little bud down there. So you might, I was talking about the clitoris, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with female anatomy, or the fact that a vagina looks like a flower. Anyway, you might think that getting all this grown-up information has helped me become wise beyond my years, but instead I just remain a child who thinks they're an adult. I'm like a friend who's like stuck outside of a nightclub and they're like calling you trying to get in. But I guess it's a good thing then that I found stand-up where all the cool kids are stuck outside of the grown-up club. So that's my time. Thank you very much.
Woo!
Do I need to do it?
And that was that was Carly giving us a little demonstration of the clitoris. That was not a demonstration. That was not a demonstration. Thank God Facebook would fucking take us down. That would fucking take us down. But now for the next guy, I can't wait to bring up. He's actually like, he's a good friend of mine. Fucking love this guy. He looks like if Kanye actually did graduate, but he majored in communications. Fucking love this guy. Like he's fucking dope. If you need weed, he's there. His name is Giorgio Slackbear. Get the fuck up here, bro. Come on, get it.
Woo!
Oh shit, that's a dope rhyme, man. That's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, crippling addiction. Yo, can everybody hear me right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, Short is right. You know, I smoke a lot of weed, and I smoke so much weed that I start seeing being sober as a drug. You know, I'll catch myself saying like, "Hey, I'll get sober and write some jokes." You know. Hey, this movie will be great sober. You know, I'll be able to follow the plot. It would be amazing. You know, like sometimes when you watch a movie, you just blank out. You just it's almost like you have Alzheimer's. All of a sudden, you're like in a like, oh whoa, how did they end up there? You know, doesn't matter. Anyways, so yeah, so a friend of mine, she really wants to remember what it's like to be a baby, and I don't get that, you know, because all a baby does is, you know, all you would remember is the different types of ceilings, you know, because all a baby does is like look up, you know, and I don't think you can remember what it's like to be a baby, is because that's the time when you see your parents naked the most, you know. That's when you don't give a shit, you know, just letting it fly. You know, you see your dad doing fucking helicopter dicks in front of your mom, you know, trying to get her. Oh, come on, you know, he's sleeping. Doesn't matter, you know. People just telling you, you know, how ugly you are. Oh, look at this fucking ugly baby. I don't know. That sounds funny to me. Yeah. So, you know, always when I call my mom, it seems like she's watching TV. Like I will call her and she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, hey, Ma, what are you doing? I'm watching TV. Oh, what are you watching? Oh, you know, just TV. I'm like, oh, she's like, a program or something? Yeah, a program. What kind? Like, it's like as soon as she sees my name, she just puts on her answering machine. She's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this motherfucker right now. That's not done yet. I don't know. That's just therapy, I guess. No, but so I'm like, I was thinking, right? We've been listening Mozart for like 300 years, right? And I was thinking, like, what artist of this time will we listen to in 300 years? You know, who would be the on like everybody thinks they're the greatest artist of all time these days, you know. The name the greatest of all time just gets thrown around like, you know, it's like a made in China sticker almost. Uh so I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just fucking ranting, I guess. That's not a rant. But yeah, like do you really think we're gonna listen to Drake in 300 years? You know, people are gonna like, he used to call me on my cell phone. What is a cell phone? I don't fucking know. You know, like, oh, you should let your baby listen Drake. It's really good for their brain development. Nobody that sentence will never be said ever in the history of mankind. Nobody's gonna put their fucking headset, you know, and like put Bruno Mars and like, oh, I'm gonna let my baby listen Bruno Mars. That can't be good, you know. So I just did like a 12-hour shift, and during that shift, I really wanted to murder my ex-girlfriend. I was just like, I'm just loading boxes on like I just put boxes and then I put them on a conveyor belt, right? And I'm at that stage of this like breakup where I just hate her. Like all the love plans that I had in my heart are now just hate, you know. And I didn't used to deal well with it because the last time I saw her, I put my hand in her coconut soup. I don't know how I got there, but I did that, you know. So this time when I met her, uh, I tried to keep it short, but I just wanted to fucking cuss her out, right? And then I saw this Nazi symbol, right? As I was somebody carved a Nazi symbol in a pole, and I was just looking at that Nazi symbol, and somehow I could transfer all my hate onto that Nazi symbol, and it just faded away, you know. So yeah, I don't know what kind of, if you believe in Einstein's theory of relativity, you know, and then time is just, you know, a fucking is like relative and everything happens at the same time, that means that my hate for my ex-girlfriend, like Hitler used the hate of my ex-girlfriend to like fucking, you know, murder some people. I just hate her. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
You get it.
In a fucked up way. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know. You gotta say your feelings, you know. Like if I would be white, people would be concerned. They would be taken out like a fucking school shooter or some shit, you know. But yeah, you know, so like my brother-in-law, he wants to hang out with me, and I don't know why. I didn't know my sister's pussy came with guest passes, you know, to my
Oh
friendship.
my fucking god.
You know, I didn't know I didn't know
Oh
he
my
just pressed in a
fucking god.
coupon code, and then he got to have like an hour of my time or something. You know, you got to earn that shit, man. I wasn't aware of this deal, you know. You got scammed, bro. You bought fake gift tickets, man. So yeah, that's my time. Goodbye.
Woo!
Ooh.
Oh, oh. Thank you, Giorgio, for being in character. That was fucking awesome. That was the greatest thing ever. Guys, please don't forget that we also accept donations. They go to the Voedsel Bank and also to these hungry comedians that also need Voedsels, especially Giorgio with the munchies. I'm so excited to bring up the next comedian. Just want to say, like, you know, not all heroes wear capes. Some of them hoard dildos. I'm so excited to bring up this guy, the Romanian reject. Give it up for Rasman Kostoshi. Come on, bro.
Hey guys, how are you? Look, I know there's been a lot of advices online and in the news and about what we should do or not do, you know, in order to prevent the spread of this virus. But I'm gonna repeat the most important advice of them all for you in order just to help us overcome this crisis, and it's, please remember, don't fuck your mother. It's the most important aspect of this crisis. Now, you might be wondering, what's the thing behind this guy? Well, during the previous Corona era, I used to tie up my girlfriends on this scaffold. It's a sex scaffold. And they would be like, no, 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 don't put that thing inside of me, Razvan. I swear to God, if you put that thing inside, oh yeah, harder. What are you? Did you just come? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a fast comer. Liam, please, I'm doing business here. What would you rather have if you would have the choice? Would you rather drive a Ferrari for 5 minutes or a Volkswagen for half an hour? Exactly. Now, point being, there are men who can fuck like a Ferrari and have the stamina of a Volkswagen, so they can fuck amazingly for about an hour. Now, what do I think about these guys is that they should die a slow and painful death, and that's just me being mega mature right now. And sorry.
Oh my fucking God. Jesus Christ.
I don't know how it happened, but these dildos calm me down like a lot. And I get women right now, you know, like I get them, you know, they love to suck on a dick because it's like diazepam, guys. I'm serious. It's dick zapam, you know, like I think these things should be introduced in schools. Like, imagine yourself during an exam, you're completely fucked up, stressed up, and you'll be like, Professor. Now I could take this a step further and say that we should change all pacifiers for babies to look like small penises, so they get used to it like from an early age. But that might be a bit too, I don't know, avant-garde. Talking about babies, baby talk. I want to talk about baby talk. See, because, well, baby talk can and should strengthen a relationship. It's also pretty detrimental. I used to be with a girl for about 9 years, and she's watching right now. And give me a second. This is not a joint, it's just tobacco. I gotta adjust to the new financial circumstances. Anyway, so I've been with this girl for 9 years, and yeah, in the beginning, baby talk was like limited to, hey baby, how are you? Hey baby, I'm fine, blah, blah, I love you, and that bullshit. And then it evolved from like, hey, what's the baby doing? Like, you go from first person to second person to third person. And we ended up being like, hey, is the baby cooking? And I was like, yeah, the baby's cooking for the baby. And then the next day I was like, hey, is the baby horny? Shall we fuck the baby? Yay! Let's fuck the baby. So I ended up fucking the baby. And while I was fucking the baby, I was telling the baby like, oh, today baby's little ass is stinky. You know, and that was not really helpful for the relationship. If you talk like that too much during a relationship, actually, if you talk like that, period, during a relationship, you're going to fuck your relationship. And you can just as well like kick your girlfriend's pussy onto some other guy's dick, like, hey, landing on his dick. And that's not what the thing is all about, because it's really dangerous. Now, I can hear some of the women right now in the audience say, yeah, you know what, I would never allow the guy, you know, to tie me up like this on a scaffold and fuck me and shit. But you would. You just don't trust him. Let me tell you why.
Oh,
See, during human evolution happened during the course of about 3 million years. And by the way, I gotta take my corona medicine. And see, when the apes, the humanoids evolved, imagine that you were a female humanoid and you wanted to mate, and it wasn't like, hi, I have a banana, shall we like have children? No, you as a male would kill the female's partner and you would rape her. Now, the word rape. Think about it. Imagine, one second. Imagine, Liam, stop laughing. I talk about science right here, okay? So imagine you're one of those females who would get raped by a male primate and would have a miscarriage. Now that wouldn't work out, right? Because you were completely stressed. But if you were one of those females who, give me 1 second. If you were one of those females, you know, who would like survive this rape and have the kids, that will evolve in the kind of person that resulted into the women of today. So my theory being is women evolved to like to be dominated. That is all what I wanted to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I think my time is up. I hope I learned you something about human biological evolutionary history, and see you next time. Guys, I love you all. Take care.
Hey.
comedy. Ooh. Well, that was fucking. That was fucking. That was fucking. That's. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do donate to the cause, to the Food So Bank. I'm sure they would appreciate it, especially now of all times. That's the show, guys. Shout out to all the comedians that perform. Check their Instagrams and Facebook if you can find it. And yeah, that's the show, guys. Thanks for coming.
Woo!
And next week.
Next
week.
Next
We
week.
will be back.
Yes. Woo!
That's the show, everyone.
Yay.
Thank
Bye,
you so
guys.
much.
Bye-bye. Bye. We're gonna go. Oh, jeez.
What the?